Hey everyone, it's Monday morning at GazWeatherVids.com, which can mean only one thing: it's Europe Day. Every Monday at GazWeatherVids.com we have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. So before I get on with the Monday morning European outlook, just to talk about the advertising, there's green keyword ads on my page at GazWeatherVids.com, where you roll the cursor over the green keywords. They display ads, but when you click through the words, you go to the advertising website, and when you do that, you're supporting GazWeatherVids.com, and thanks very much for doing that. Also want to mention the website we're using for the charts. It's weathercentral.de, a fabulous German website. You can find it, or find a link to it on my links page. So this is the situation across the continent today. Bit of an east-west split. We've got this trough of low pressure sitting just to the east of the continent, more or less around western parts of Russia, pulling down this very cool northerly wind into much of Scandinavia and northeastern parts of Europe. Conversely, we've got the area of high pressure sitting across many central and western parts of Europe. Very warm ridge of high pressure, that one is. And then we've got low pressure as a cut-off feature out in the Atlantic. And we've got a blocking area of high pressure from Greenland through Iceland up towards the north of Scandinavia as well. So quite a complicated looking picture. And it's really about blocking area of high pressure that's producing this cold trough and cold northerly wind down over Scandinavia and western parts of Russia. So have a look at the upper air temperatures. Well, real east-west split today, or northeast, southwest split I probably should say, because much of Scandinavia, eastern, northeastern Europe up in towards western Russia, very cool scene, really cool northerly wind pushing down. Whereas to the west of the country, those countries, it's a very warm scene through much of the island, Britain, down into France, through into Spain and Portugal, on through the Mediterranean, and then up into central countries of the continent, so through Germany, the Low Countries, just into Denmark as well. Very warm upper air temperatures for those regions. Now, in the east and the northeast, around that area of low pressure over Scandinavia as well, it's quite unsettled with showers or longer spells of rain, some quite heavy rain that, and probably cold enough to produce some snow across the far north of Scandinavia. So really unsettled in the northeast, but really from Germany westwards, there's hardly any precipitation at all to speak of. It's a mainly dry scene for much of central and western Europe today. And the temperatures displaying that east-west split. It's cool up in the east and northeast. You can't see it that well, Scandinavia and northeast Europe and western Russia, but it's very cool up there. Temperatures in some places just down into single figures. But from Germany westwards, very warm scene, particularly evident through Brigald, parts of Ireland, down in towards France, and then on into Spain and Portugal. Temperatures in central Spain could well be up to 32, 33, maybe 34 degrees today. That's into the 90s Fahrenheit. Now, as we go through to the middle of the week, things are really staying the same, but that area of high pressure across Central Europe is ridging more towards the north. It's kind of retrogressing towards that blocking feature to the north of Scandinavia. So the trough of low pressure across western Russia, pulling down this northerly wind, is probably the main driving feature through the course of the middle of the week. But really much of the continent is still actually under a ridge of high pressure, and quite a warm ridge of high pressure. The upper air temperature showing that, well, we are putting cold air down into Scandinavia with that northerly wind. The -5 isotherm is appearing, so frosts and maybe some wintry showers coming up the central and northern parts of Sweden, Norway, Finland through the course of the middle part of the week. That's in more northern parts of those countries, probably not in more southern areas. And heavy rain in other places as well, with that area of low pressure across west of Russia. It's turning cooler through Denmark as well, just into the far north of Germany and through Poland. But south of that, we're really in the warm upper air temperatures, and very, very warm, if not hot, across much of France, down in towards Spain and Portugal as well. The precipitation showing that all the rain and showers is up in the north and the northeast, so through Scandinavia, Denmark, through the Baltic Sea, in towards the western part of Russia. Some showers breaking out across Ireland and Britain, but I don't think they'll amount to too much through the middle of the week. And then much of the continent going to be largely dry through the middle of the week. Just maybe some showers or thunderstorms breaking out across parts of Portugal and maybe into the north of Spain as well. Temperatures through the middle of the week showing that much of the north and northeast is going to be on the cool side. The warmest weather is from Germany westwards and southwards, again very hot through the Mediterranean, and really very warm indeed through much of France, particularly southern France, with temperatures getting up to the 90 Fahrenheit mark. Once again, going through to the end of the week, well, it's sort of the same idea really. We've still got the trough of low pressure keeping the cool weather going across Scandinavia and through towards western Russia. Everything else across the continent becoming very slack through the end of the week. This low pressure off the coast of Portugal is trying to come in, but it's a very slow sort of process. Everything very slack through the end of the week across the continent. And we really keep the north-south split going at the end of the week. It's a cool scene for much of Scandinavia, through into Denmark, down in towards northern parts of Germany as well, through in towards northern northern parts of Austria, quite cool there, and then going up into the northeast, in towards west of Russia. It is a cool scene. Now, it's still very warm through much of France, Spain, Portugal, although Portugal will be turning increasingly wet, I think, at the end of the week, and quite warm still going in towards Ireland and southern parts of England. It's also very warm at the end of the week down in the southeast Europe. I haven't been talking too much about the southeast of Europe in this video so far, but you're going to have a warm week, I think, down there. So there's the heavy rain coming into Portugal, associated with an area of low pressure, just trying to get in towards Spain, but I think it's mainly confined to Portugal at the end of the week. Some showers still for Ireland and Britain, of course. Lots of showers, longer spells of rain. Some of them could be wintry over high ground across the northern parts of Scandinavia. That's up in the north and the northeast. Otherwise, not too much going on, to be honest. Mainly dry away from the Alpine regions, completely dry for much of the Mediterranean, and many of these central countries dry as well. The temperatures still very warm in the west, particularly through France, still getting up toward the 90 Fahrenheit mark across southern parts of France. It is a cool scene though up in the north and in the northeast. And then finally, as we move through towards the end of the period, which takes us into next weekend, we've got this area of high pressure over Scandinavia. Quite cool out underneath that. Otherwise, pressure is slowly but surely leaking away across the continent, so probably turning more unsettled, if anything, through the course of the end of the week. We do see that it's cold across much of that Scandinavia at the end of the week, back in towards west of Russia as well. And many northern and northeastern parts of Europe will be cold, but warm upper air temperatures are through the Mediterranean, and it's still pretty warm really for many central and western parts as well. Now, here's the dew points. You'll be seeing a lot of these over the next few months. Dew points reflecting humidity in the atmosphere where they're below freezing. That's where you're going to have frost and also the chance of wintry showers. So just throwing in the dew points now, again, in the equinox, of course, we've got dew points below freezing across many central and northern parts of Scandinavia, going up towards central parts of Russia. Otherwise, the dew points are actually quite warm, particularly in the west. Some very warm dew points still across much of France. But we do see that the precipitation is slowly breaking out over the weekend. As I say, pressure is leaking away, so we've got showers, maybe longer spells of rain or thunderstorms breaking out here through Portugal, Spain, up in towards France, into the Low Countries, southern and west parts of Germany, and over the Alps as well. Still mainly dry for Ireland, Britain, northern Germany, and going down through Italy into towards the southeast of Europe. It's mainly dry through those regions. Showers up in the northeast, some outbreaks of rain coming in towards Norway as well. Temperatures at the end of the week showing that it's pretty cool for much of the north and the northeast, still warm in the west, and temperatures are still very warm through the Mediterranean, but they are lowering somewhat. So that's it. It's going to be a complicated week coming up. The cool weather is really confined to the north, Scandinavia, northeastern Europe, and in towards western Russia. That's where the cool air is going to be locked in through the week, and you're going to have a very cool week of it, with risk of some wintry showers and frost, I think, by the end of the week, particularly for northern parts of Scandinavia. Elsewhere, though, it's quite a warm scene, particularly evident in the west. Spain, France, in towards the British Isles, parts of western Germany as well, and the Low Countries. You're going to have a pretty warm week of it. Maybe the last one, though. By the time you get through to next week, we could well be talking about a very autumnal sort of pattern takeover, but we're going to have to wait and see on that. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.